Hello everyone and welcome to another Lost Skills podcast video. Today I'm going to show you how to change a set of brakes on a 1999 Olds Bravada. It's going to be pretty basic, the same for almost every car, and this is how to change a disc brake. They're all pretty much the same. Maybe they have different fasteners and stuff, but let me reposition the camera, and then while I'm working, maybe you guys can get a chance to see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to put it to where I don't really have to move it a whole lot. Alright everyone, I'm back. Now I've already kind of pre-loosened everything so you can see. This here is an 18mm ratchet, socket on a ratchet, 3/8 drive. This is one of the things you're going to need. Next thing you're going to need is a 18mm wrench. You're also going to need a C-clamp to push the brake rotor back in, and of course you're going to need some brake pads. Also a screwdriver to pry the caliper off here, and probably a hammer. So I'm going to go ahead and get loosening these up. I already kind of broke them loose just for the sake of making everything quicker. So they're pretty loose now, so I could just take them off. Now you could save a lot of money doing brake pads. I think for the Olds Bravada brake pads, I think you can get a set of brake pads for about 10 bucks. But I don't buy those brake pads. I buy you know, they go from probably 10 bucks all the way up to 50 bucks. I don't buy the $10 ones, and I don't buy the $50 ones either. The $50 ones are lifetime warranty and all that. I don't buy lifetime warranty brake pads because they tend to wear your rotors quicker, so the money you save in brake pads you spend in rotors. So it's I usually buy some middle of the road, right around $20, that range. And you can see I'm just using the screwdriver here to kind of pry this off. I'm sure I did the other side first, and that one popped right off. This side's being a little stubborn. I'll have to get the hammer. There we go. And you just kind of keep wiggling this baby off until it'll fall right off. Now this is the brake caliper. It's got the two plungers in here. I don't know how good you can see this because I can't see the screen on the video. And this is the brake pad holder. It has more of a technical name, but I don't know it because I'm not really an auto mechanic. I'm just a guy that likes working on cars and stuff. So what you want to do next is you take your 18mm, and there's bolt here, you take these two bolts out, which, like I said, I've loosened everything prior to making the video to make this go a little quicker. I was going to do it in a series of steps, but I figured I might as well let you guys see me just take the bolts right out. This is the one you need a wrench for. It gets really close to here, to the A-arm. You can't get a socket in there, so you actually do need that 18mm wrench, and this is the only bolt you need it for. And if I picked up the camera and showed you the top view, you could see it's almost touching the A-arm as I back the bolt out. Actually, if you can hear it, it's hitting right there. And now this just comes right off. Wow. And that just holds your brake pads. Hopefully I can figure out a way to do a camera angle to show you guys how I put the brake pads in the holder. Maybe I'll just hold it right here and try to do it, but I'll be right back. I'm going to shut the camera off and I'll start getting everything ready to put back together. Hey everyone, I'm back. Next thing you got to do is, I forgot about this, you need a wire brush. You need to go in here, this is where the brake pads ride, you got to clean this up real good. You want to make sure this is nice and clean, there ain't a lot of stuff in the way, because This is where your brake pads ride. You want them to be able to move around as smooth as possible. You can see there's a lot of little dust coming off and stuff, and that's just brake dust and all that. So you want to have that cleaned up. I'll pause the video, come back, and show you how to put the brake pads in. Alright everyone, these are the brake pads. What I'm using is Duralasts. They're not the most expensive ones in the world, not cheapest either. Semi-metallic brake pad. They have these little clips, and these are the squealer clips. I don't know how you could see it or not, but that goes right on your brake pad. And when the brake pad gets to the minimum thickness, this little tab will hit the wheel, and it makes that squealing sound that you hear when your brake pads are wore out. So you just take a brake pad like this. The holder has the shape. Take it, and it should snap right in. Sometimes you do have to grind on your brake pads a little bit to get them to fit. And it looks like I'm probably going to have to do that on this one. Yeah. Try a different one quick. Yeah, I gotta go on and take a little bit off of both of them. I'll try it on this side. See if this side's a little bit looser. No, it's not gonna fit. It's got to be able to move free in here, and it's not moving free, so I'm gonna go grind a little bit off these brake pads. I'll be right back. Actually, I had to do this on the other side. So I kind of figured I'd have to do it on this side. I should have did it before I started, but I wanted to make sure to see how they fit. So I'll be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back. I've ground the brake pad a little bit, put the clip back on. Now you can see it fits right in the holder. Nice. You want it to be a little bit snug, but you don't want it to fall out. Let's see if I can get the other one in here. Yeah, it looks like this one might give me a little trouble yet. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. So there, these are the new brake pads installed. Slide the holder right back on. Sometimes you got to wiggle the brake pads around on here a little bit. Take the top bolt. Put it back in. Take your bottom bolt. Put it back in. A lot of times, a lot of people use power tools for this stuff, but I could, but it would be really loud and noisy on the video. So I figured I'd do this with hand tools, so it takes a little bit longer. Oh, almost forgot. That's the one that you need the wrench for. I got a couple of different cars, and sometimes when you're fixing something, you mix one car up with the other when you're working on it. I know the camera angle ain't the best. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way as much as possible, but I do truly want to get this brake job done. Make sure they're nice and snug. You can look in Chilton or Haynes manual. There are torque specs on these. I don't use the torque specs. I just tighten them really tight. Actually, I'm just gonna snug them down for now so I can keep going with the video. Next thing you want to do is you want to push these plungers in. What I do, they do sell a tool for this, but what I do is I just take an old brake pad, throw it in there, and I'm going to try to position this so that maybe you can see it go down. kind of hard to do, but we'll get it done. I want to have you guys be able to see the plungers actually going down. You just tighten the C-clamp and you keep pushing the plungers down till it's tight all the way down to the bottom. I'll give you plenty of room to get your brake caliper on. Then you just take your brake caliper and, if you can, make sure your brake pads are tight together. That helps get the caliper on. Brake caliper goes on just like that. Make sure the rubber boots are lined up with the holes. These go on. And you tighten these up, and then you're pretty much done with your brake job. I mean, you can see this, it did take a little bit longer than what you're going to see in the video because I'd already pulled the tire off. I already loosened up the bolts. Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes the bolts are good and rusty and stuff, but this is my vehicle. I've always done the brake jobs on it. I've owned it since it had 70,000 miles on it. Right now, if I remember right, when I last looked at the odometer, it is at about 217,000 miles. And I've done pretty much all the maintenance on this vehicle myself. I've replaced the ball joints, axle shafts, this ball joint, replaced the shocks, rotors, brakes. I don't know, I've put a few sets of them on here. So all this stuff, you know, it's nice and loosened up. It's not all rusted up like some cars where people don't put a set of brake pads on it for 150,000 miles. But when you put these bolts back together, I would recommend using Never-Seez. I didn't use Never-Seez this time because they still had Never-Seez on it from the last time. Never-Seez is a product that stops the bolts from rusting. You can actually see a little bit of it on my fingers right there. It's like a silver in color. Oh, how well you can see that, but it's worth its weight in gold, especially when you're doing brake parts and stuff. I highly recommend it. Also, be careful when you take your vehicle off jack stands. You've compressed them pistons. When you hit the brakes the first time, the brakes aren't going to work that good. So before you put it in gear and back up, you want to pump the brakes a couple of times, get them to squish the pads back down a little bit. But I hope you guys all enjoyed my video. You know, I'm not going to show you how to put the tire on because I figure if you're going to try a brake job, you can take the tire off yourself. But this is how you could save a lot of money doing brake jobs and stuff yourself. It probably literally took me about maybe 10 more minutes or 15 more minutes than you're going to see in the video. And that's, you know, me talking a little bit and stuff too. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video on how to change your own brake pads. The principles are the same. I think Fords use a pin on some of the older ones. Some of them use an Allen socket. But, you know, most of the newer cars have bolts now instead of the Allen sockets because they're a lot easier to change. Oh, also some of these, this is a dual piston caliper. The older ones are single pistons, so you don't even have to throw the brake pad in. You can just tighten the caliper down on the piston and you're ready to go. So with that being said, this is the end of my video. If you guys like what you've seen, go to my website at www.thelostskillspodcast.com and check out some of the awesome podcasts that I've done. There are also other YouTube videos posted on my site, and I'm trying to get some listener pictures up, and, you know, some other interesting, you know, how to do it yourself, preparedness type of things. So like I said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Bye.